Rachel Zegler on the first day of casting. And I just kept looking and looking and looking, just as high as Rachel reached that first day.
Honey, Hollywood's no stranger to dramatic rises and epic collapses. But what's happening with Rachel Zegler? Oh baby, this might be the juiciest fall from grace we've seen in years. She was once the fresh-faced darling of the industry, crowned the next big thing after West Side Story, a Spielberg discovery no less. But fast forward to now, she's spiraling. Fast. And the whispers swirling around her name? Absolutely brutal. It all started with a whisper, a savage little rumor that Steven Spielberg, yes, the Spielberg, found Rachel Zegler horrible to work with behind the scenes. And let's be real, when Steven speaks, the entire industry listens.
They say all you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
It's awful, generic. Never mind that the lyrics make no sense at all. All you have to do to make your dream come true is let it echo. Is it like on a metaphor?
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Controversy in Snow White. The dwarves have been eliminated in the live action.
Yeah.
Now it's Snow White and the 7 magical beings.
Wait, it's 7 and the magical beings?
Yeah,
They won't even
7
say
magical
and the 7
beings.
dwarves?
No, because they're not dwarves. For right now, that's the only jobs that are there.
Now, if it had ended there, maybe it would have blown over. But nope, things snowballed. Fast. The Snow White box office bomb, a flop so massive it carved its name into cinematic shame forever. And guess who fans and insiders started pointing fingers at? Yup, Rachel Zegler. From Hollywood's golden child to a full-on cautionary tale in a matter of months. It's like she blinked and the entire industry turned on her. And behind the scenes, Spielberg, the man who gave her that dream shot, is allegedly airing it all out. Not in tabloids, but quietly, brutally, to the right ears.
This is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not progressive.
They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Hardcore. They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
Disney deleted Someday My Prince Will Come and made a modernized feminist alternative.
Word is he's been talking, and what he's saying, it's not pretty. We're talking next level mask off moment. The kind of feedback you hope never leaks, but oh baby, it did. Insiders say Spielberg found Rachel's behavior on set completely unbearable. Her attitude, toxic. Her ego, through the roof. For someone fresh in the game, that's a dangerous combo. And honey, the timing couldn't be worse. Her career's already teetering on the edge, but the more you dig, the more the story starts to rot. This wasn't just Snow White being a flop. This was the fallout of arrogance, behind the scenes tantrums, and allegedly burning the single most powerful bridge in Hollywood.
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Part of the first fairy tale ever told.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's gonna lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million.
Let's keep it real. This wasn't about one movie crashing. This was about a director who rarely criticizes anyone, finally breaking his silence with some vicious private complaints. Rachel's alleged behavior wasn't just annoying, it was career suicide. Spielberg's no drama queen. He's old school, he keeps it classy, but if he's speaking up, you know it's bad. You don't survive decades in Tinseltown without learning when to speak and when your silence screams louder.
For remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarves, but they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it, the disability, like we're a disability group. You just erased that whole.
Broke out with his news, and I'm very, very, very excited and looking forward.
And now, Hollywood's buzzing with one terrifying possibility that Rachel Zegler may have officially been blacklisted. Yes, blacklisted. Insiders claim Spielberg's private complaints have made their rounds. Word travels fast when it comes from him. He's a kingmaker. If he turns his back on you, doors start closing fast.
Last week was a very big week, objectively a huge week. We had quite a few announcements. It's the first live-action film, which is Snow White and the Evil Queen. And that's me. I'm Snow White, which is so funny.
Oh my God.
It's got extra musical numbers that are incredibly unnecessary that really add to that runtime. And let me go ahead and let you know that they're absolutely atrocious.
Sources say he didn't just express mild frustration. No, he called her a nightmare. Plain and simple. This is the same Spielberg who discovered Drew Barrymore, nurtured Christian Bale, molded Tom Hanks' career. The man knows talent. He knows stars. And if he's calling someone a nightmare, that hits like a damn hammer.
Nobody wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? The outrage.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of...
He's built a legacy on supporting new talent, not tearing them down. But according to insiders, Rachel crossed a line even he couldn't ignore. Apparently, she constantly challenged his direction, nitpicked every note, demanded retakes based on her emotional comfort, and clashed with choreographers who had spent months perfecting dance numbers. Girl, what were you thinking? Spielberg, patient, calm, composed, reportedly tried to be flexible until it hit him. He might have made a huge mistake.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
I sat through the whole thing. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension. Racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly. It was just awful.
He'd already bragged about discovering her. He sold the world on this so-called next it girl. Millions were on the line. The pressure was insane. But privately, Spielberg was heartbroken. Confidants said he confessed she was the most difficult newcomer he'd ever worked with. Let that sink in. Ever. He picked her from thousands of audition tapes, believing she had that once-in-a-lifetime spark. And to be fair, test screenings show she did shine on camera. But behind the scenes, the magic was nowhere to be found. The vibes were off. Way off. His close friends said he felt betrayed, like her raw talent didn't mean a thing because she had no respect for the process. And while Spielberg never publicly slammed her, fans noticed his promo interviews got real quiet. When it came to Rachel, his compliments were generic. If he mentioned her at all, Ariana DeBose, he gushed about her every chance he got. Rachel, practically a ghost. And now, people are finally connecting the dots. But wait, it gets even messier. During West Side Story filming, there were already whispers bubbling beneath the surface. The media kept calling Rachel the Cinderella of casting calls, a viral sensation who booked her dream role. But Hollywood insiders were already talking, quietly. Reddit threads and gossip sites described a nightmare on set. Rachel allegedly being rude, egotistical, clashing with crew, and refusing to take direction. One blind item even claimed she snapped at the choreographers, saying she wasn't going to be a puppet. Another story described her storming off set because she didn't want to show more vulnerability in a key scene. The production team left scrambling. Back then, people brushed it off. Typical movie set drama, they said, but now? Oh honey, it all looks very different. Even makeup artists and costume designers weren't spared. Some claim she nitpicked every outfit, complained nonstop, allegedly even threatened to blast them online if they didn't fix her look. That's not just diva behavior, that's reputation destruction. The stories piled up, quietly at first, then louder and louder. When West Side Story was gearing up for release, those rumors got buried under the Oscar buzz. But guess what? Hollywood never forgets. It just waits. And when Snow White crashed and burned, it was Rachel's worst nightmare come to life. So let's talk about Snow White, the live-action adaptation that was supposed to catapult Rachel from promising newcomer to Hollywood royalty. Instead, it obliterated her career trajectory. Disney banked hard on this one. We're talking over $250 million, 0 cents, invested into what was supposed to be the next Beauty and the Beast level success, a nostalgic reimagining of a timeless tale. And Rachel Zegler, she was the face of it, the center, the star. But baby, what happened next was a disaster of epic proportions. The movie flopped hard. Critics trashed it, box office numbers came in painfully low, audiences were not only unimpressed, they were offended. And once again, the finger pointing began. And guess where they pointed? Straight at Rachel. She was accused of not just being a poor fit for the role, but of outright disrespecting the legacy of the original character. During press tours, Rachel made comments that ignited the fury of longtime Disney fans. She laughed off the original story, called it creepy, suggested that Prince Charming was a stalker, and while some saw it as a brave modernization, most saw it as straight-up arrogance. The backlash? Immediate and merciless. People didn't just dislike her version of Snow White, they loathed her attitude. Fans felt like she spat on their childhoods. And social media? Oh honey, they had a field day. Clips from her interviews went viral, not in a good way. Audiences dragged her for cringe statements and smug delivery. Every joke landed like a slap. Every smirk became a meme. Disney insiders started to panic. Word leaked that test screenings had already hinted at disaster, but no one expected this level of public fury. The press machine sputtered, PR campaigns fizzled, and through it all, Rachel doubled down. No apologies, no humility, just more snide remarks and subtle digs. And here's where things went nuclear. Insiders claim Rachel started blaming everyone but herself. She allegedly said that the film's failure was because people were too distracted by the upcoming Minecraft movie. Yes, Minecraft, a video game adaptation. She reportedly whined that audiences cared more about blocky characters than a timeless fairy tale. Oh girl, no, just no. This sparked an avalanche of memes. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everyone was roasting her. Minecraft memes flooded the internet. People joked that Steve from Minecraft had more charisma than her Snow White. Screenshots read, Rachel found her scapegoat, Minecraft. Others mocked her with captions like, Minecraft stole my crown. The public wasn't just laughing, they were angry. Angry at her refusal to own up, at her dismissive tone, at the way she threw Disney under the bus and expected sympathy. Even worse, more reports began to surface that she'd become nearly impossible behind the scenes, refusing media appearances, skipping out on scheduled interviews, allegedly brushing off requests from Disney PR once things got ugly. It painted a picture one nobody could ignore anymore. A young star who only smiled when the spotlight loved her, but the moment it got harsh, she ran. And in this business, baby, that's the kiss of death. Executives scrambled, PR teams tried to spin the narrative, but the damage was done. Rachel wasn't just a controversial figure, she was quickly becoming unhireable. And while all of this burned down in public view, one man's silence echoed louder than any headline. Spielberg, the man who discovered her, gave her her big break, who once proudly stood behind her casting, now said nothing. And that silence, it was deafening, because in Hollywood, silence from someone that powerful isn't neutral, it's damning. People kept asking, why won't Spielberg defend her? If she's being unfairly targeted, why isn't he stepping in? And the answer? He doesn't need to. Spielberg's track record speaks volumes. He doesn't play in the mud. He doesn't need to clap back in interviews or tweet shady memes. When someone like him stays quiet, it's the loudest condemnation of all. Sources close to him say he's just done, over it, that he regrets ever picking her for the role, that he feels she wasted the opportunity of a lifetime and threw it back in his face. And when you think about it, that explains everything. His coldness during the West Side Story promo tour, the lukewarm shout-outs, the way he lavished praise on everyone else, except Rachel. The puzzle pieces? They're all snapping into place now. Hollywood's a small town, people talk. And when someone as respected as Spielberg quietly turns his back on you, that blacklisting, it's not a rumor anymore. It's real. And the saddest part, it didn't have to be this way. Rachel Zegler had it all. The talent, the looks, the backing of a legend. A starring role in a Spielberg musical and the face of a Disney princess reboot. But instead of gratitude and grace, she gave the world ego and excuses. And now, she's gone from star on the rise to the punchline of every industry joke. From a red carpet hopeful to a Hollywood what could have been. This isn't just a career misstep. It's a masterclass in how to lose it all by your own hand. And Spielberg, he's already moved on, silent, untouched, watching from the sidelines as the very star he once championed vanishes into the shadows. Roll the credits, baby, because Rachel Zegler's fairy tale just turned into a cautionary tale.